Hey, happy Tuesday morning. Boy, we're getting close to that NAIA national tournament. I don't know about you, but I can't wait till Friday. They throw the ball up in the air, and we're going to start getting the first night. We'll get down to our 32, and then next night we're already down to 16. So we're going to talk to Noel Emenhiser today. He's getting his team ready right now to go to Lucky Arena down in Marion, Indiana to play Indiana Wesleyan. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Yeah, you know, the Madonna Crusaders, they showed so much toughness. You know, they had that brutal start. They started 2-6. They had a tough schedule. Things just weren't going right for them. They took a lot of hits in social media. And, you know, for a 19, 20, 21-year-old guy, you know, that can get in your head a little bit. But these are a group mostly seniors. They kept their wits about them. They just stiffened up and toughened up. And they had a good run in the WAC, and they're heading down to Indiana Wesleyan now, down to Marion. They're going to play Indiana Wesleyan in the first round of the NAIA tournament. Coach Emenhiser was good enough to give us a few minutes this week. Let's take a listen to Coach Noel Emenhiser, Madonna Crusaders. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Coach Noel Emenhiser. He's the head men's basketball coach, Madonna Crusaders. Thanks for being on, Coach.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You know, Coach, you and I have talked about this before. Anybody who follows me at all knows that I was just fascinated with the turnaround your team was able to make this season. You took a lot of heat in the local social media. Now, I know you've been around a while. You kind of took it in stride, but your guys showed just a tremendous amount of toughness to get through that. What was it, a 2-6 start, and to turn that around. Talk about your team and their toughness.
Yeah, it's an incredibly resilient group. I think they always saw the finished product in mind, and even though we went through some adversity and played a foolishly very challenging non-conference schedule, and took some tough losses, a couple close games and a couple games where we got a little bit outplayed, but the group, I think, always believed in their capabilities, and credit to our assistant coaches and our group to just working through the problems and not pointing a finger at anybody or at anything, and just saying, where can we find solutions and where can we find answers and improvement? And that's what they've done all year long, and I couldn't be more proud of this group, especially because it's been a challenge. And I think that says a lot more about their character than if it had been, smooth and easy. So while I wouldn't have chose it in hindsight, like we didn't necessarily want to lose those games, I think that this will actually serve all of us, and we'll learn a lot from it in our individual lives. And I hope I become a better coach because of it.
You know, Coach, you got a real senior heavy group. You start 4 seniors along with Amani Weston. Probably a dumb question, but how important is it to have all that experience as you head into these playoffs? These guys have been there, done that.
Yeah, I think at this point, their careers, statistics, those kinds of things are cemented from a legacy standpoint. And the thing that they're interested in is playing as well as we can and giving ourselves a chance to advance. So you love a group that their only singular focus is getting ready and being as good as you can be. And that's what these seniors are doing. So we just appreciate all of their experiences and everything that they've contributed to our program. And then now, as we head down this final stretch, just the opportunity to support them and trying to achieve what they've set out to. It's a really great time and a really great opportunity.
Talk about your team. One thing that really sticks out to me, Coach, is almost everybody has common statistics. Young rebounds a bit more than everybody else, but all your starters are between 13 and 16 points on average. They really distribute the ball. You guys take really good care of the ball. Talk about the team culture and what, how do you do that?
Well, I think it is intentional by design. We really want to be an unselfish team and work to get the best possible shot we can on every offensive possession. And on certain nights, a game or an opponent may take away one part of it, and we want the next player, the next guy, to be ready to do what they do well. So if we're seeing a lot of attention inside on the post, our other guys can find space and capitalize on that. And if we're seeing a lot of pressure on the perimeter, we feel like we've developed ways to counter that. And so, I think we really try to be fluid and adaptive. And on a particular night, we might have a different guy go for 30. And through the
Yeah.
course of January and February, we did have, on one particular night, this guy in the 30s and the next guy on a different night, and two guys with 25 on the following evening. So I think that suits well towards the postseason and late in the year, is that we're not completely reliant on a singular offensive player or one or two. And I think that every one of our guys has the ability to step up and contribute when needed.
Each phase of the season is a bit different, right? You're making, a run toward the end. You were trying to get to that 2 spot. You didn't make it. Then you got to go into the playoffs. That's another mental mindset. And now you're going into the NAI national tournament. You've been there many times. That's a completely different mindset. What is your goal with your guys right now? Where do you want them to be mentally as you get ready to enter the NAI tournament?
Just completely fearless. The end of the season is coming within the next month or so for every team,
Yep.
and we don't want to be fearful of that. And I think that you want to go to into battle, and not that basketball is war or battle, but you want to go into somebody that's not afraid, and not afraid of the opponent, and not afraid of dying. And we want to go into this game with absolutely no fear of the consequence or the outcome. And I think that just gives us the very best chance to be our best. And then we live with the outcome. We're playing a phenomenal team, one of the best programs in the NAIA, one of the best teams in the NAIA, and we're well aware of that. And we just want to show up and give our very best, and our very best gives us a chance. So, the mindset is that we've been through all these experiences. They've all led us to the point that we're at today. And now it's kind of ignoring what will be to focus on just where we're at today, and giving our best.
You touched on it, but if you look at, well, it's good news and bad news. You don't have to go over. It's a bus ride down to Marion, but that's the good news. The bad news is Indiana Wesleyan's been really tough at home. They always are. Talk about, when you look at that team, and I'm sure you've been watching millions of hours of film so far. Just talk about Indiana Wesleyan and some of those strengths you might have to overcome.
Just a phenomenal team. Not just great individual players, but great collective of ability. And then as tactically well prepared as anybody you'll ever see. Their staff, Coach Donegal and company, do as good a job. I mean, they are a high-level basketball organization participating in the NAIA. And we know that they'll be extremely well prepared, and that their players will be ready to go and confident. And, we're working on just constructing a plan that suits our players and our strengths, and what we feel that we can do to definitely not stop, but limit the things that they do great, and put our players in a position that they can have success. So, yeah, it's always interesting going back through the end of season with an opponent and trying to understand the context of, okay, why does Grace do these certain things against them, or Spring Arbor, or any of the teams that they play down
Yeah.
the stretch? Because there's layers and layers of context to those decisions, to really understand what it is that they're trying to limit, or what it is they're trying to influence. So it's an awesome challenge, trying to unpack years and games of context into the decisions. And then you don't always know how well you're executing that particular game plan that you're watching on film. So,
Right.
it's an awesome, awesome challenge. And our job as coaches is to try to take all that information and distill it down into the simple things that our players can understand and execute in the heat of a great environment that we know Indiana Wesleyan will have against a great team, so that they can rely on the things that they can do well, and that they're confident to do them. So it's a fun challenge, but it certainly is a big challenge.
Yeah. That Indiana Wesleyan's a team not unlike yours. They didn't get the start they wanted. They took a lot of heat early. They started playing a lot better late. But you played them. I don't remember what month it is, but you played them. I think it was before a Pacers game, wasn't it? Before when you went to Gainbridge. Does
Yeah.
they beat you pretty good? They got a good jump on you that day. Does that give you an advantage that you've already seen them?
That's a great question. I think we'll know more after the game Friday of whether there was any good that came of playing them the last time or not. They absolutely put it on us. They played wonderful. They deserve all the credit. I did not do a good job in our preparation for that game, and I hope that we're able to find some adjustments. And one of two things: either we'll have learned a lot from the last time, or we'll show that they're just a much better team than we are. So I'm hoping it's the former. I'm hoping that
Yeah.
we're able to find some adjustments. And, our team takes incredible pride. And all we're going to ask is that they give their best again. And, we'll see. We'll see. They're a little different in some ways. Luke Brown and another player weren't playing at that time. And they had a couple guys playing that, haven't been in the lineup
Yeah.
lately. So they're doing some things differently. They've been really, really good. They were great the day that we saw them. They've been really good since. And so, we'll see if we can find anything to limit them or to attack them differently at 3:00 on Friday.
So, Coach, what is the drive down to Marion? Is about what, 1.5 or 2 hours, something like that?
Yeah, in the neighborhood of 3, but it's not bad at all. And we're grateful for the geographic proximity. But every team playing in the tournament is fantastic, and they're clearly one of the best.
Well, those Madonna fans that are going to listen to this, you need to get your tickets now because these things sell out pretty fast. You get down to Lucky, regardless what, obviously you want your Crusaders to win, but regardless of what happens, it's going to be a great stay for 2 days regardless. It's amazing basketball, and it's always a lot of fun to get fans from every team in there. I'm sure Tonga would prefer I didn't say that, but you need to get some fans down there. Is anybody taking a bus or anything for fans?
I'm not sure. We've got a great support system in our community
Yeah.
that really values what our players stand for and do. So we just appreciate their support and however they can provide it. And certainly anybody that can make it, we'd love to have them there. But our job is to just make sure we show up and bring our best, and we'll let the rest of those things take care of themselves.
Coach, I know you're a busy guy and I need to let you go, but I got to ask you about Brendan Young. The season he had, he's 1,000-point, 1,000-rebound guy. Not very many of those around the country. He's only 6'5". What does he get? 9 rebounds a game or something. He's a special talent.
Yeah, phenomenal. And I think his will and determination are what make him great. And just the level of consistency from one game to the next, from one year to the next, is something that's truly just special. He's a generational player, one that we won't ever replace his abilities. And we just hope our next group of players, develop into their own irreplaceable, unique contributions that we'll have a hard time replacing them as well. But he's been phenomenal. He's really made our coaching staff look good over the last 4 years, and he deserves every accolade that he's gotten.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you giving us just a few minutes. I wish you a lot of luck as you head down to Indiana on Friday. Like I say, regardless of what happens, it's going to be a phenomenal weekend. I'm looking forward to it, and I want to wish you luck down there.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and thanks for having me on.
Okay, that's Noel Emenhiser. He's the head men's basketball coach, Madonna Crusaders. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much to Coach Emenhiser and to Madonna University. Coach is a great guy, always willing to give us a little bit of time. It's a busy time of year for these guys, so thank you very much, Coach Emenhiser. I really appreciate it. Well, that's what I have for today, and tomorrow, join us. We have Chris Wright, Langston Lions. As you know, they're going to be hosting as well down there in Langston, Oklahoma. It's an interesting conversation. You're going to enjoy that. I always enjoy talking to Coach Wright. So join us tomorrow, and don't forget to pull up your schedule and take a look at these NAIA playoff games coming on Friday and Saturday. Make your picks, and boy, you're going to see some great, great basketball. Okay, join us tomorrow. It's Billy D. That's all I got. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.